Hello, welcome back to Blender SVG LiveENODING. In this episode, I'm going to show you how you can create improvisations vector art poster using Blender nodes, SVG nodes. And this is something that you can visualize here, and it will actually update over here as an actual SVG or vector art poster. So this is totally scalable, and you can print it as big as you want. So yeah, let's get started. It's actually pretty simple to create. As you already know, SVG add-on now comes with SVG nodes, thanks to Victor Dorval. And if you look at here, there's SVG, and there's a bunch of nodes that you can use already to create very interesting design. The easiest to use, of course, circle. I'm gonna show you very quickly, and gonna use SVG document, and we want to create, for example, like a circles, a lot of circles with random shapes and random color. So let's save this very quickly. SVG poster. So scattering bunch of circles. So we already know how to do this. This is the nodes that will generate our viewer. So this is our canvas, control click. This is our page. I think it's A4 size, 21 by 29.7. And we want to, first of all, create something to center our circle. So SVG objects. And the position, let's see. We want to position this. Let's create a viewer node. Create our circle. So by default it's over there. We want to place it properly. So it's following the pattern, of course. This is 21 divided by 2. This is 29.7 divided by 2, because this is an A4 size paper. So now our circle should be at the center, and we want to write it out. So we need to have folder path. Let's just point it into my desktop. Make sure when you're selecting a path, get rid of this, and then now you have the path, and you can write it down. If I refresh, this is Google Chrome. Command R to refresh. So we have our dots at the center, and you can change the color as you like. Fill and stroke, for example, fill it with a red color. Yeah, write it. Command R. We have red. You can change the radius, etc. For what we are doing, let's see, we want to scatter points. So let's use random vector. Create a 20. We're gonna move this, however, to center the position. So the points, bunch of points, we want to use it as a placement for our circle. And now if we write it down, Command R, we have a bunch of red dots. We can increase the scale so they're scattered, and write it down. There you go. That's exactly the same. If you want to visualize this, okay, something like that. File, save, create a new file. So now we want to randomize also the radius of the circle. So apparently you have this control for X and Y. So that's nice. Let's actually do that. Create a random number, float numbers, the size maybe 20 as well. Create 2 of them. So this is going to be random value between whatever value we put it here. Plug this into radius X and radius Y. and then write it down. Command R. So now we have random shapes. Circle, now it's more like ellipse. The cool thing about SVG, of course, you have control over alpha. So the color include alpha. You can write it down. There you go, you have alpha channel. It's very nice. This one is totally printable if you have laser print or something better. It's a vector art. You can print it as big as you want. It's really useful for design. On top of this alpha, you also have control over the hue. If you use a color in and then just use HSV, so here we can just do this and use random number. Again, 20 random number, float, and plug this into hue. Saturation we can reduce a little bit so the color is a bit nicer. Reduce the alpha a little bit, write it down again, update. Yeah, so far so good. With the visualization, of course, currently we don't have visualization for the scale. Of course, we can easily do that here, the X and the Y. Plug this into the scale. So we have these visualizations before we do anything over here. We can now randomize. And then just remember this shape and then we write it down, update it. This is the same. You can randomize the color, etc. And then you can increase the number of the circle. It's pretty cool. And yeah, so let's say we increase it to 50. We love this design. Write it down, refresh. There you go. The color, with the color you can visualize here as well. Slightly trick here because you might need to use vertex color or objects and materials. I think vertex color is easier and better. I'm not gonna do that for now. I want to show you, however, you can, on top of this, we have other things here, right? Not just circle, we have path. Mesh is actually a very cool one. So if the mesh, if we use stretch of logo, the cricket, and increase the size, and we can offset it. Offset the positions. Again, 21 divided by 2, 29.7 divided by 2. It's going to be centered on A4 size paper vertically. And this is our SVG. We can use list join. We can join these SVG objects and this guy as a single object. Write it down, refresh. So we have our Spreadshop logo here. We can change the color. Well, it's got kind of we just design it on the fly. Bake it. Oops, not baking it, sorry. Write it down, update. So we have Spreadshop logo there, and maybe we have a little bit of alpha, like a white color with a bit of alpha here. Yeah, so that's basically the process. If you want to rotate our design, rotate this guy a little bit. So this is okay. This is the scale. This is the rotations. Let's just rotate it randomly. Write it down. There you go. This can be actually, I believe it can be animated as well if you want. Not gonna do that now. So with our Cricut logo, maybe we want to have stroke, flat stroke, or maybe with pattern. Just use flat stroke, 0.02 the width, and yeah, just black color. Write it down, update. There you go. It's your poster design, basically. Yeah, you can use anything, not just the Cricut. You can use our Susan head. Plug this in. Let's see what it looks like. Susan head. And scale. Scale is very useful here. There you go, Susan head, and we're gonna rotate it. You just use random vector here. Plug this into the angle, randomize. Write it down. Okay. Scale maybe a little bit too big. Write it down. There you go. Susan head on top of random circles, and this is a vector art. You can really zoom in, and it's totally scalable. So it's resolution independent. So this is the actual vector. You can see how it's kind of like projecting the SVG from the top, and I think that's really cool. Yeah, and if you want to rewire this, just one more trick. It's old school trick. Still pretty cool that you can do this. Just remember, it's a lot of tricks. Count from this guy, like that. So you can control the Z depth of the scatter points, like that. And whenever you're happy or unhappy with the design, you can always randomize the seed, change the scaling. You know, you can have Susan head. Maybe Susan head will look into our side. Okay. there's actually this open server and live update. I don't know, it does not work. It does not work on mine. But I think so. Still pretty cool. Oh, you can do it this way. So Google Chrome, minimize, snap it there, and I'm gonna randomize the vector rotations. Update. Oh, it's actually keep facing that way. Oh well. View, frame all. There you go. A bunch of nodes create this really cool poster. Hopefully you find this interesting and useful. Let me know what you think. And thank you again for tuning in. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.